What's up, Taiwan? How's it going? I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. As Taiwan opens its borders to international visitors on Thursday morning, there is both excitement and concern in the air at the country's international airports. Ryan Kilpatrick reports.
The barriers are finally coming down as Taiwan's airports prepare to welcome back international visitors for the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic began. And on the outbound side, eager to see the world without having to quarantine, many Taiwanese are rushing to renew their passports and book holidays. But this immigration officer says she and her colleagues are nervous about the new arrivals.
国际的疫情很严峻的状况之下呢，其实我们在第一线国境的第一线的同仁其实是非常恐慌的。来自各国的旅客，我们其实不知道他从哪里来。
These concerns are not universal, though. A cleaner at Taiyuan Airport, Taiwan's main gateway, says she isn't worried.
是平常心啦，就是只是清洁的频率会比较频繁一点，然后消毒还是依旧持续做。
And the airport CEO is glad to see the back of 2.5 years of strict and often shifting regulations.
疫情前是服务旅客，然后变成是防疫为重点，那又随着各种的措施不断的在做调整哦。 我想过程当中，大家都是有非常的这个辛苦哦。
Taiwan's reopening comes amid a dramatic reversal. Closed and COVID-free for much of the pandemic, the country's few cases were generally among citizens returning from abroad. But now, the average daily caseload for the past 7 days ranks second highest in the world. On the day before reopening, Taiwan reported over 52,000 local cases of COVID-19 and just 67 cases that were imported. Ryan Kilpatrick for TaiwanPlus.
And as mentioned, from Thursday, mandatory quarantine will be scrapped for people coming to Taiwan. The decision to relax border controls took into account predictions of when COVID cases would peak. Our reporter Yu Jinhuang spoke to Lin Xianhe, a professor of epidemiology, and asked him how the latest figures affect Taiwan's pandemic prevention efforts.
Taiwan's Central Epidemic Command Center previously predicted that the peak would be on September 21st or 28th, but the confirmed cases are actually higher in October. What can we tell from the numbers?
I think predicting the peak, the timing of the peak and the number of the cases at the peak time is very difficult. This kind of prediction is at the most being used as to help people or help the government prepare for the worst case scenario. So I think we should not kind of over-interpret the results of the interpretation and or the prediction, and what is going to affect the timing of the peak and the size of the peak is a number of factors. I think for the current wave of outbreak, there is still a certain period of time that we're going to experience this level of outbreak. It's not going to finish or end anytime soon.
Is it possible that people are under-reporting as is in other countries? How confident are you in these official numbers?
There are countries that have been changing their reporting behavior, for example, like more towards more severe cases, and also the efforts that the government or people spend in reporting probably varies hugely across countries. So I think comparing the number of confirmed cases per capita across countries at this present stage is probably not the best way of understanding the severity or the level of severity for COVID-19. You can probably look at, for example, the number of hospitalizations or the number of COVID-19 deaths per capita. This is more comparable across, although there's issues of how different governments define a death is COVID-19 or not. Different countries may have some different practice. but at least I think mortality is probably a better indicator than like daily number of cases, confirmed cases.
So going forward, what COVID prevention measures can stay and what should be loosened?
This has to be dynamic over time, because we don't know what like the future variants is going to do to us. But I think for now, if we focus on the Omicron, people are now getting used to testing, self-testing, reporting, and isolation. So I think we can gradually, taking the experiences from other countries. For example, Japan has actually never done any mandatory mask wearing policy. It's all voluntary. So I think kind of moving back to a more voluntary basis, spontaneous way of prevention and control is probably, for now, is the way to go, and making the like quarantine or the isolation less burdensome. It's currently still a burden to the public health officials in many places.
Analysts in South Korea say that North Korea's recent missile tests are becoming more threatening. That's partially due to advancements in Pyongyang's missile technology, but also because their launch sites are getting harder to find. Jaime Ocon explains.
North Korea has test-fired more than 40 missiles this year, shattering its previous record of 23 tests in 2017. But analysts say that the way a recent ballistic missile was launched caught many by surprise.
저수지에서 쏜 거는 제가 알기로는 처음이라고 봐요. 그래서 제가 이번에 북한은 새로운 미사일을 개발했다. 그래서 SLBM이라고 했는데 그거는 서브마린 런치트가 아니잖아요. 서브마린에 쏜 게 아니기 때문에 언더워터 런치라고 바꿔라. 그래서 ULBM이라고 제가 새로 하나 별명을 지어주고 싶어요.
The possible development of an underwater launched missile could pose a new threat, as its silo location might be harder to find.
이거를 이런 새로운 플랫폼을 개발을 해서 뭔가 하여튼 탐지를 안 당하도록 하기 위해서 굉장히 많은 노력을 하고 있구나. 어떻게 보면 이제 그 한미의 그 탐지 자산을 굉장히 두려워하고 있구나. 역으로 보면 그렇게 생각할 수 있는 거죠.
Most North Korean weapons tests have involved short-range ballistic missiles. But after Pyongyang fired an intermediate-range missile over Japan on October 4th, some experts say that the isolated nation could be gearing up for a possible nuclear test, not seen since 2017.
실차 핵실험을 한 이유는 이렇게 다양하게 핵무기를 소형화해서 모든 미사일에 실을 수 있는 자신감을 보여주는 거라고. 그래서 미사일을 이렇게 보여주는 거는 결국에는 거기에 핵탄두를 실어서 우리가 날릴 수 있으니 절대 우리를 함부로 건들지 마라. 이런 시그널을 보여주는 거죠.
South Korea, Japan, and the U.S. have been stepping up their military presence around the Korean peninsula. And with North Korea's recent missile test launches, the South and its allies may just have to adjust their defenses. Patrick Chen and Jaime Ocon for TaiwanPlus.
Taipei Zoo's giant panda Tuan is responding well to treatment after earlier tests found lesions in his brain. Zoo caretakers say Tuan's appetite and activity levels have all returned to normal. Vets carried out tests on the 18-year-old male in late September after he suffered several epileptic seizures in August. Tuan is now on medication, and the zoo says he has not had another episode. But vets say Tuan's seizures were not caused by his brain lesions or by infection. They're still looking to other possible causes. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we leave you with images of the Taiwan Design Expo in Kaohsiung. Participants use different media and interactive experiences to show off their creativity. I'm Ethan. You'll take care, and I'll see you next time.